let's talk about my second Tolsta Tee, y'all. Hello everyone, Rochelle here, and I'm back to share some yarn goodness with y'all today. Okay, so today we are going to be talking about the Tolsta Tee, and it is designed by Rebecca Clow of the Creabea. So, as I mentioned, this is my second Tolsta Tee because I just enjoyed knitting this pattern so much. But let's talk about it. I have made quite a few changes from my first Tolsta Tee, and so yes, all right, so this is a paid for pattern and it calls for DK weight yarn. Of course, you could knit it in another weight of yarn. It'll just change your gauge a little bit, so yeah, keep that in mind. All right, so the bust circumference for this tee ranges between 31 to 67 inches. And in centimeters, that is 80 to 169.5. So I love that. It has a very, very generous size range. And so I think it's wonderful. I knit the size 6 for the 51-inch bust, and I have a 50-inch bust. So it has a really nice amount of positive ease on me, and I will show you all a little bit later on what this looks like on. So yeah, I will definitely do that for y'all. Okay, so in terms of the needle size, I used two needle sizes. The first one was a US 6, which is a 4mm knitting needle. And I also used a US 8, which is a 5mm knitting needle. So I talked a little bit about positive ease, and this tee has between 0 and 3 inches of positive ease, which is 0 to 8 centimeters of positive ease. And I really like that because when it comes to ease, I like to usually keep it 4 inches and below of positive ease. So yeah, it's perfect. And the yarn that I use is Drops Extra Fine Merino. It is 100% superwash merino wool, and I knit this using the mustard colorway. As I mentioned, this is my second Tolsta Tee, and this time I did knit it with a 1x1 rib here, and let's see, yeah, so it is knit with a 1x1 rib, and I really like it. And also, I like the fact that this is knit top down. I love that. I cast it on with a long tail cast on. And so I did use like a 90-inch tail to start the long tail cast on. I always like to keep a record of how much yarn I use to make the long tail cast on, just so I don't have to keep doing the math every single time that I make this top. And so yeah, I like that. Also, I love the detail of the raglan increase, and I'll post some pictures showing this a little bit more up close later on, but I absolutely love it. And also what makes this pattern so great is that it has a lot of different features on it. So it's totally customizable. And I've seen this knit with like lace eyelets. I've seen it knit with stripes, which is really cool. Yeah, I've seen people do like double knitting over the stockinette. So it looks great in a lot of different ways, and I just think that's, you know, part of the reason why this pattern is so great, because you can just do so much with it, and I just think that is wonderful. Okay, also, the neckline for this pattern is quite wide. If you knit this t-shirt to pattern, it's going to be more like a boat neck. So what I did was I knit the not the yoke circumference, just the neckline. I knit the neckline to the size 5. And so I cast on stitches for the size 5 because it starts with the neckline. And then when I got to the last row of the neckline, I increased up to the stitches needed for the size 6. And so that's why mine isn't as wide. Now, if I was to make this tee a third time, I was thinking of playing with the idea of casting on with the neckline for the size 4 and then like increasing to the size 6. And so that would make an even smaller neckline, and I think it'll be more like a crew, kind of like a crew neck kind of design. So I don't know. I'm thinking about playing with that. So yay, it's so fun to customize your projects and just kind of turn them into something that you want to wear and that's unique to you. I love that. I think it's a lot of fun. Okay, so yeah, that's that. And also, let's see, did I have to... One thing I tried to do better this time was with the underarm holes. I feel like I did pretty good. I did have some underarm holes, but basically I just, when I first started my sleeve, I made sure that I left a long enough tail. I think it was like a 15-inch tail that I left to be able to close in those holes under the underarm. But I feel like it looks really good, and there are no holes under the underarm. So, because look, the last thing I want to do is raise my arm and there's holes in the underarm. Okay, like no, nobody wants to see that. So yeah, I definitely wanted to make sure that I did that. And that's just a pro tip, that when you do cast on for the armhole, just leave a little bit of extra yarn before you pick up the stitches, because you'll probably need that extra yarn to, close up those underarm holes. Unless you know a wonderful way to avoid underarm holes altogether. So, definitely let me know, because I noticed that even if I do I might pick up 2 extra stitches at the beginning of the armhole and the end of the arm. And then, of course, when you go and you do your second round, you kind of do like knit 2 togethers to bring it in. I've even tried that and I still have underarm holes. So yeah, any sort of advice would be appreciated. So, as you can see here, the back is raised up higher than the front, and that is due to those wonderful German short rows. I used to think okay, what is the big deal with short rows? But y'all, I see the benefits of having short rows. It really does bring that back up really nicely, and it's a wonderful design feature. And I do think that learning how to do short rows is definitely worth it. There's German short rows, which I prefer, but then there's also the shadow wrap and turn short rows as well. But I really like these German short rows, so love it. All right, so I did make a boo-boo with this pattern, but it wasn't my fault though. Okay, so not sure. I might, yeah, I'll do like a close-up of this, but there is a line here where the yarn color changed. And there's also a second line where the color changed, and you could really see it, at least I could really see it during blocking. But yeah, so I don't know what happened. I mean, I thought they were all the same dye lot. I could see if it was just one ball that did it, but then like right here, it has the same thing where there's just like this stripe of a lighter yellow. And so, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. But the thing is, I am happy where you can see it. And so I had originally bought 6 balls of this yarn, and then I realized that I was going to need a 7th ball. And so, rookie mistake, I did not have the same dye lot apparently. But the thing that's throwing me off is right here, there is a color change. Okay, I get that. And I did use one ball of yarn there. But why is it different here when I was using the same balls of yarn? I don't know. I don't know where I went wrong. I can't even explain myself. I don't know. It's hard to see actually. Like you have to really, really look at it. But I don't even know how I did that. I thought they were all the same. Maybe, I don't know. I shouldn't have assumed that they were all the same dialogue, but anyway, it's fine. It's hard to see unless you're really looking at it. But it wasn't until I was blocking it that I noticed it. And so I did wet block it. And then I wet blocked it by soaking it in water. And then I towel dried it. And so after I towel dried it, I laid it on the blocking mat and I let it air dry. And so I really liked how it fit after blocking. But as I mentioned, that dye lot change, it's really noticeable. And I'm so glad that the color change happened at the bottom of the t-shirt instead of like at the top, like right across my bust. That would have been awful. And so, yeah, it's crazy because I'm even just now noticing there's a change on the sleeve as well. I'm really starting to think that when I bought those balls of yarn together, they were different dye lots. Because I could see if it was just in one area, like one ball was the outlier, but I can see it on the sleeves now too. On one sleeve, just on, looks like the left sleeve, I can see it, but oh well, such is life. It happens. I mean, what do you do about it? As I mentioned, this is my second Tolsta Tee. I did make some changes with this one. I knitted a 1x1 rib this time instead of a 2x2 rib. I also knit the sleeves 1 inch longer before I started the ribbing. And I also knitted the body 1 inch longer before I started the ribbing. And also the ribbing for the neckline, sleeves, and bottom hem is 1.25 inches, which is a little bit longer than my first tee. And so basically I ended up doing 8 rows for the hem, the sleeve cuffs, and the bottom, and the neckline. So I definitely made some modifications there. And also there was a change in yardage because I added more to it. And so my first Tolsta Tee used 800 yards of DK weight yarn. And since I lengthened the body on this one, I ended up using 900 yards. And that worked out great because before starting this project, I had a total of 920 yards. And so I had a little bit left over. And so that was really good because I was so afraid of losing at Yarn Chicken with this project. I was worried. I was really worried, but it ended up working out really well. So I absolutely love that. And also with this Tolsta Tee, I wanted a stretchier bind off on the, especially on the sleeve cuffs, because with the first one, the sleeve cuffs are fine, but when I blocked it, I had to pin it so that it could, widen out a little bit. But I wanted to do a stretchier bind off this time. So what I did was, instead of binding off with the specified needle size, I bonded off with a US 7, which is a 4.5 which is a 4.5 millimeter knitting needle. So I did go up a little bit on those sleeves. So that worked out really, really well. I love the fit of it. And yeah, it just, I just really like it. I have big arms, and so I need a lot I need a lot of ease when it comes to the arms. But yeah, this pattern, y'all, I definitely recommend it. It only took me about a month to finish, and so that was awesome. Yeah, only about a month or so. So I love it. And of course, I do have details on my Ravelry page, and I will link my Ravelry page below. But it is a pattern that is super well written, and I definitely want to make another one. However, there's a lot of other t-shirt patterns that I want to knit. So I don't know when I would knit another one, but I totally would. And I just love the fit of this t-shirt on me. Let's talk about the designer. So, the designer Rebecca can be found on Instagram, YouTube, and Ravelry, and I will certainly link her projects below. She has a lot of amazing patterns. I definitely have some on my list. So yeah, definitely check out her Ravelry page and, take a look. What I like about her designs is that she has some more classic designs, like these raglan designs, but then she also has some more complex designs as well with really intricate lace stitches. And so I really like the range that Rebecca has as a designer. And so she is, I believe she's still running the Clow. I'm not sure now, but I have entered this into the hashtag Tolsta Tee Clow, Kal. And so, yeah, it's just kind of fun. And this feels amazing. I am proud of this one. I'm very proud of this one and the changes that I made and everything like that. So let me know if you have knit the Tolsta Tee, or if you want to knit it. Let me know what colors you used or what colors you would like to use, what fiber, things like that. So yeah, I would really love to know. And I wanted to let you all know of some upcoming videos that I have. I have plans to upload my fall knitting video as well as my fall crochet video. And so I'll be letting you all know the things that I want to make for this upcoming season. And then also I will be going over some brand new finished projects as well. So I'm really, really looking forward to that. And as I have mentioned several times, I have knit a Tolsta Tee before this one. And if you would like to check that out, definitely go and do that. And if you have not already watched that video, here is a video preview. I have to admit, I am playing a game of yarn chicken with this project, and I hope that I don't lose. I can't believe this yarn is discontinued. I want more. About the collar. I have a funny story. I hope you enjoyed that video preview. I'm sure a lot of y'all have already watched it, but if you haven't, I will leave a link to it in the description box below. Okay, so I did want to do kind of a channel slash life update. So I have been having like severe pain since my surgery that I had back in June. On top of that, I also have really intense back pain. And so I say all of this because it does affect like my business. It affects my ability to dye yarn because dyeing yarn can be really like physically demanding. You're lifting pots and you're moving things and buckets of water and all of that stuff. But you know, it also affects like how often I upload and the length of my videos and things like that. So yeah, I've had scoliosis since I was 13 years old, and I've had bursitis since I was 24. And so then on top of that, with the recent surgery, that's brought on a whole new level of pain. And so if you're someone out there that's dealing with chronic pain, I gotcha. It's not fun. It's not fun at all. And I think for me to come on YouTube and to post and everything like that, you know, I want to be positive, and it's hard to get on camera and smile, you know, when my body's hurting. And so, you know, if in the future, if you see maybe not less videos, but shorter videos, that plays a lot into it, because sometimes, like, if I am in pain, you know, it's kind of hard to sit here for a very long time, or, you know, things like that. So, but yeah, anyway, I appreciate you all so much for being here. And, you know, I love y'all's comments. They're so positive and so encouraging. And I love it. And even on those days where, like, my body and, you know, we're not in agreement, it just motivates me to come on here and continue to show my projects and all that wonderful stuff, because I love it. I'm hoping to get to 10,000 subscribers this year, but we only have about three and a half months left, so that might be a little over ambitious. But yeah, I mean, it'd be great. But yeah, so just to let you know that videos may or may not be a little bit shorter. We'll see, you know. But just, you know, in case you start seeing that, that's what's going on. I can only record on days where, like, I can sit and, you know, show my projects and all of that stuff. But I had a little bit of back pain this morning. Well, a lot of it. And I was like, oh man, you know, I really want to get this video out. I've already showed my Tolsta Tee on Instagram, and I want to, you know, show it on YouTube and everything. And I was like, ugh, I don't know if I can record today. But I am feeling a little bit better this afternoon. And so I was like, I am going to take this window of opportunity to record, because I just love it. I love the whole process, the filming, the editing, the thumbnails, everything, and just you all's encouragement and positivity. It's like I can feel it, and I just appreciate you all so very much. So anyway, that's all I wanted to say. All right, y'all, let me know what you worked on while watching. I would love to know. Or did you just chill? nothing wrong with that. Thank you all so much for clicking that like button and that notification bell. Love it. And also check out my YouTube community tab. I ask a lot of fun questions over there, and I love reading you all's responses. And a lot of times, like, I learn new things. You all send me suggestions, and of course that allows me to add patterns to my ever-growing Ravelry library that is too big, but whatever. I'm going to keep adding projects to it. So yeah, thank you all for checking out that YouTube community tab. I really do appreciate it. And also, if you would like access to bonus videos and a link to the private Facebook page, definitely click that join button below. Each level has different perks, so definitely check that out. And also, I have a Ravelry wish list if you want to buy me a pattern. I've gotten quite a few patterns, and it's so exciting. It's really exciting. And I was just I was doing a membership video yesterday, and we actually kind of went online shopping for a new pattern that I had received through the Ravelry Wishlist. So that's a lot of fun. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, bye!